Bruchim habaim b'shem Adonai. May those who come before us be blessed in the name of Adonai. Welcome also, Bruchim habaim, to all of us, all of you who have come to take part in this joyous celebration and to witness the ritual sanctification of Annika and Vince's relationship. It's a distinct personal pleasure to stand before the two of you, Vince and Annika, as Misader Kedushin, the one who officiates at this event. Having watched you both become integral members of the Shabbat morning minyan at the synagogue in Charlottesville, and having noticed you both grow close to each other, even as each of you delved individually into life patterns seriously informed by a consciousness of Shabbat and mitzvot, I cannot help but be filled with joy in standing before you. And if you look out, you will see that I'm not alone. We are joined by these friends of yours who love you and share this joy at your union. I want to say just a few words to supplement those which you have on your fans about the ceremony that you will be witnessing. It takes place under this chuppah, this wedding canopy that's quite beautiful and is special for this occasion. I would invite everybody to come and take a closer look at the specific symbols that relate to the background that Vince and Annika have, their different voyages, their different journeys, Charlottesville, Canada, Israel, etc., etc., etc. It's just quite beautiful and symbolic and personal and more than personal ways. There are two ceremonies that are going to take place under this chuppah. One is called Kiddushin or Erusin. The second is Nisuin, each over a goblet of wine, symbol of life and joy in the Jewish tradition. This chuppah represents the Jewish home that Annika and Vince will make together. It is fragile and delicate and requires balance and finesse for its ability to stand as it is, in the same way that marriages, if they are to last, require balance and finesse if they are to last. And just as the chuppah is open, so our wish for you too, Vince and Annika, is that the two of you strive to be open to one another, open to each other's needs and sensitivities, sensitive to one another's vulnerabilities, and also aware of each other's strengths, which are many. Just as this chuppah is open, so may the two of you be open in extending hospitality and generous welcome toward others, including those in need. About the first ceremony, Kiddushin, or betrothal, in times past in Jewish communities, it was a separate ceremony. It could precede marriage by as much as a year. It's marked by a blessing over wine, as I said, and by the exchange of rings, and also by the signing of a wedding contract, a ketuvah, which was signed earlier and was witnessed and signed by witnesses, and from which we will read shortly, and which you can see before you. It's a beautiful ketuvah. I also encourage you to take a closer look later on. Nisuin, the wedding ceremony itself, consists of 7 blessings, Sheva brachot, over the second goblet of wine. They call forth images of creation, the first couple in the Garden of Eden, and the joy of marriage, as you'll see, and you'll all participate in these blessings shortly. A Jewish marriage concludes with the breaking of the glass, which, among other things, signals the awareness that even though we're at this joyous, happy event, it takes place in a context of a world in which there is much pain and even pain in our lives. Not all is as one would wish it to be. So we break a glass in that awareness, but also with the determination to persevere in living with joy, with love, and purpose nonetheless. And following the ceremony, one other thing to say, just so you know what's going on, Annika and Vince will observe the custom of yichud. That is, they will seclude themselves when they leave the chuppah, be together alone prior to greeting us, their guests, so they can share their first moments after marriage together prior to joining us in celebration. So having said these words of introduction, I'm going to pour the first goblet for Kiddushin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu ha'arayot v'asar lanu et ha'arusot v'hitir lanu et ha'nisuot lanu al yedei chuppah v'kiddushin. Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh amo Yisrael al yedei chuppah v'kiddushin. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, creating the fruit of the vine. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, whose mitzvot add holiness to our lives, and whose will guides us even in the most intimate of our relationships. Praised are you, Adonai, our God, who sanctifies the people Israel with chuppah, the wedding canopy, and kiddushin, the sacred wedding traditions. And take a sip and then lift Annika's veil and help her take a sip. Put the veil down. So now, Vince, if you will produce the ring that Annika will wear, and if you will place it on Annika's right index finger, you can switch it later, and say these words after me. Harei at mikadeshet li b'taba'at zo kedat Moshe v'Yisrael. By this ring, you are consecrated to me. As my wife. In accordance with the law of Moses. And the people of Israel. And Annika, if you will produce the ring that Vince will wear and place it on his right index finger and say these words after me. Harei atah mikudash li b'taba'at zo kedat Moshe v'Yisrael. By this ring, you are consecrated to me. As my husband. In accordance. The laws of Moses. And the people Israel. So now, before we proceed with Nisuin, I want to share the words of the Ketuvah which we signed earlier. Leave it on the easel and read from it there. I'm going to do this. Okay. It says, Be'echad b'Shabbat b'Shmona v'Esrim Yom L'Chodesh Av Shanat Chameshet Alafim U'Shava Me'ot V'Shivim V'Arba L'Briat HaOlam L'Minyan Sha'anu Monim Kan b'Charlottesville, Virginia. And I'll read the rest in translation. On the first day of the week, the 28th day of the month of Av, in the year 5774, as we're accustomed to reckon it here in Charlottesville, Virginia, in the United States of America, we hereby testify that the groom Vincent Kahn said to his bride Anneke Hedden, "You are consecrated to me as my wife with this ring, according to the laws of Moses in Israel," and that the bride Anneke Hedden said to the groom Vincent Kahn, "You are consecrated to me as my husband with this ring, according to the laws of Moses in Israel." The groom Vincent and the bride Anneke accepted all the conditions of betrothal and marriage as set forth by the Torah and by the religious courts of our sages of blessed memory. The groom and bride further agreed willingly to work for one another, to honor, support, and nurture one another, to live with one another, and to build together a household of integrity as befits members of the Jewish people. The bride accepted a ring from the groom, and the groom accepted a ring from the bride for the purposes of creating this marriage and to symbolize their love. The groom and bride also accepted full legal responsibility for the obligations herein taken on, as well as for the various property entering the marriage from their respective homes and families, and agreed that the obligation in this ketuvah may be satisfied even from movable property, getting legalistic. We have had both the groom and bride formally acquire these obligations to the other with an instrument fit for such purposes. Thus all is in order and in force. Hakol, Sharir, V'Kayam. And this wedding contract was signed duly by 4 witnesses in Hebrew and English: Robert Ginsburg, Ben Margulies, Benjamin Lisbon, and Blair French. Please take a look at this later. For the Sheva Brachot, the 7 blessings of marriage, I would invite all of you to take a look at your fans and join me in the translation of each blessing, blessing by blessing. I'll chant them first in Hebrew, and then we'll recite them in English. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pari hagafen. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, creating the fruit of the vine. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, Shehakol bara likvodoho. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, whose glory is evident in all of creation. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Yotzer ha'adam. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, creator of mankind. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yatzar et ha'adam betzalmo, be'etzelem demutav nito, v'hitkin lo mimenu binyan adei ahad. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer ha'adam. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, who created male and female in the divine image, that together they might perpetuate life. Blessed are you, Adonai, creator of man and woman. So stasis v'tagel ha'akara, b'kibutz banecha letocha besimcha. Baruch atah Adonai, misameach Tzion bivanecha. May Zion rejoice as her children return to her in joy. Blessed are you, Adonai, who causes Zion to rejoice in her children. Sameach tisamach re'im ha'ahuvim, kisamechecha yitzircha began Eden mikedem. Baruch ata Adonai, misameach hatan v'chala. Grant perfect joy to these loving companions as you did for the first man and woman in the Garden of Eden. Blessed are you, Adonai, who creates the joy of bride and groom. Baruch ata Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bara sason v'simcha chatan v'chala. Asher bara sason v'simcha chatan v'chala. Gila rina dihitza v'chedva. Ahava ve'achava v'shalom v'reut. Mehera Adonai Eloheinu yisamach bi'arei Yehuda uvachutzot Yerushalayim. Kol sason ve'kol simcha, kol chatan ve'kol kahala, kol sason ve'kol simcha, kol chatan ve'kol kahala. Kol mitzalot chatani mechupatam, Baruch ata Adonai, misamech chatan im hakala. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, who rules the universe, who created joy and gladness, bride and groom, pleasure, song, delight, laughter, love, and harmony, peace and companionship. Adonai, our God, may there always be heard in the cities of Judah and the streets of Jerusalem voices of joy and gladness, voices of bride and groom, the jubilant voices of those joined in marriage under the chuppah, the voices of young people feasting and singing. Blessed are you, Adonai, who causes the groom and bride to rejoice together. Vince, take a sip and share it with Annika. A few words from me. Annika and Vince, you have chosen stupendously well both the setting for your wedding as well as the date for this joyous event of your marriage, in selecting, as you did, the first day of the week in which we Jews will begin a new month, the month of Elul. Not only is the month of Elul the one designated for us to prepare our interior selves to begin a new year with optimism and hope, and the intention to focus on personal renewal, but the rabbis of the Talmud, as I know you both know, see Elul, the word Elul, the name of the month, as an acronym for the words Ani Lidodi, V'dodi Li. I am my beloved, and my beloved is mine. It's the verse from the Song of Songs which at once expresses both the tight bond between the unifying force of the universe, God, and the people Israel, and also, much more obviously and perhaps appropriate for this moment, the love of a couple entering marriage. That is to say, on this day, all signs point to love. It's a good mazal, a good sign indeed. Annika and Vince, by way of blessing for you on this, the day of your wedding, I want to draw on this story from the Talmud. There was once a man who was making a journey across the desert. It was hot and dry, and he soon became hungry and thirsty and tired. He looked around to see if there was a place he could stop and rest. Suddenly he noticed there was a tree with wide branches and leaves and beautiful fruit, and beneath that tree there was a flowing stream. The man stopped, he ate of the fruit, he drank from the stream, and then he sat under the branches of the tree to rest in their shade. Before long, the man felt refreshed and strong enough to continue on his journey. But when he was ready to depart, the man, wishing to express his gratitude, said to the tree, "O tree, how shall I bless you? Shall I say, may your fruit be sweet. Your fruit is already sweet. Shall I say, may your shade be pleasant. Your shade is pleasant and cool already. Shall I say, may you have a stream of water flowing beneath you. But you already have a flowing stream that refreshes and feeds both you and the traveler. So how shall I bless you, O tree? And so I say, may the offshoots taken from you be like you. And so, Annika and Vince, I too ask, how shall I bless you? You already have so much going for you. You have the sweet fruit of a love for one another that is founded on friendship, a profound appreciation for each other's strengths and sensitivity to each other's vulnerabilities. You already have beautiful branches, your tremendous array of talents and interests, and more importantly, the qualities of personality and life experience that draw you to one another and others to you. And you already have the flowing stream of friends who are here for you, who are there for you. You have a nourishing Jewish tradition from which you have learned to draw strength and inspiration, and a Jewish community that treasures your serious involvement and presence, and community beyond that. I'm confident that the Jewish tradition you have each come to embrace will be for you, both of you, an unending source of spiritual nourishment and wisdom. All the more as you incorporate it into the life of the home you will establish as a married couple. The founder of modern Hasidism, the Baal Shem Tov, once said, "From every human being there arises a light that reaches straight to heaven. And when two souls that are destined to be together find each other, their streams of light flow together, and a single, brighter light goes forth from their united being." Indeed, Annika and Vince, by standing under this chuppah as you are this day, you do indeed link the love story that is your own in a way that produces a greater light. You stand here, our tradition has it, as did Adam and Eve, under the first wedding canopy in the Garden of Eden. By joining together in marriage under the chuppah, you become both symbolic and actual partners with our Creator. By joining as a married couple, you become both symbol and example of harmony and hope for a world full of so much disharmony and division. Not only is your marriage a product of your love for each other and a source of gladness for all who are gathered here, but your marriage has cosmic dimensions. By marrying under this chuppah, you, Annika, and you, Vince, become much more than the sum of 1 + 1. You do indeed become together one much greater light. And so, Annika and Vince, how shall I bless you? This is how. May you continue as you are, with sweet fruit, branches extended, and a flowing stream beneath you. May you continue to be mutually supportive and caring and present for each other in the times of sadness that must be, and many more times of joy, for which we hope. And may all the creative offshoots of your minds and your hands, and indeed, if you are so blessed, the children you raise together in love, may they too be like you. Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, may God bless you both and protect you both. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha, may God show you favor and provide you both with comfort. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom, may God take delight in you, Annika and Vince, and grant you both inner calm and external peace, as together we all say, Amen. And so, since both of you have acted out of love and affection, acting in accordance with these rites and ceremonies instituted by our Holy Torah, and in accordance with the laws of the Commonwealth of Virginia, you, Vince, and you, Annika, are now husband and wife if Vince, you can perform one more
Oh,
little
okay.
act. Put it, yeah, on the stone. Do it. Mazel tov. Can you play? Here's your recessional music. There we go.
I'm not surprised, not everything lasts. I've broken my heart so many times I stopped keeping track. Talk myself in, I talk myself out. I get all worked up, then I let myself down. I tried so very hard not to lose it. I came up with a million excuses. I thought of every possibility.